We're back with Maestro Robert Nance from the Heartland Chamber Chorale. This Sunday, February 10th, Heartland will be presenting a family concert featuring Mr. Puppet and the Singers of Heartland in the North Campus Auditorium at the University of St. Francis. Maestro, tell us about this concert.
Well, it's going to be fun. I don't know how many, people out there have children that that you would like to maybe take to concerts that you grew up with, that you like to attend, and that's really the focus of this program. Families with young children usually get sequestered every day taking care of their children, which they should do, but they also have artistic interests that cannot be met because of those responsibilities. So we were trying to provide something other than something the lollipop day, like a visit to Chuck E. Cheese or something like that, but a high artistic experience for the adult who is raising young children who might like them to be exposed to good quality arts. And of course we're in a market for choral, good vocal music. And so we wanted to provide a concert that met the needs of the parents but also introduced children to good quality music. So we planned a program around those two parameters, and so we have this family concert featuring Mr. Puppet. Mr. Puppet is actually more for the adults than it is for the children. We want the children to be exposed to music that the adults are already used to hearing and appreciating. The children are visually stimulated, so Mr. Puppet helps there, and certainly the educational goal of teaching kids what do you do when you go to a concert, that sort of thing, but also keeping their focus during the course of a 70-minute program is a challenge, and Mr. Puppet helps with that.
So does Mr. Puppet, this character is speaking to the children as a part of the musical selections that are performed?
It's more like, hey, this is a puppet who's come to a concert, and hello, boys and girls, what are we doing here today?
Okay.
And
so sort of narrating the concert.
In a sense, but in another, there's Mr. Puppet comes with his own shtick as well.
Yeah.
So he does work with the children a little bit on various things that capture their interest, and so there's a little training, a little entertainment, a little magic sometimes. And then we will do our portion. So sometimes there's give and take. Mr. Puppet's on stage, and then we take the stage. We actually surround him, and he comes on and then goes off for a portion that we might do. And then others, we interact with the children and Mr. Puppet all together. So it really depends on that particular moment in the program. Nothing takes longer than 3.5 to 4 minutes. So that's a pretty decent attention span period for young children. And the music is all high quality. Yeah. So I really think it's a nice mix, and you just kind of have to experience it to really understand it.
And I'm guessing that the songs are ones that are familiar to us.
Well, do you know Zippity Doo Dah?
I do know Zippity Doo Dah.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and these really great arrangements of that. We're doing some new music too, which is great for everybody concerned. But new arrangements of very familiar songs if any of us grew up with Mr. Rogers.
Oh, love Mr.
So
Rogers.
The connection there for us is my current teacher now for 12 years has been Mr. Robert Page, who has probably the preeminent conductor for choral and orchestral music, among other things. He's just a great teacher. Is at Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. And of course, his long years in Pittsburgh, one of his best friends was Fred Rogers. So they exchanged a lot of musical ideas, many programs he arranged of Mr. Rogers' music. And after Mr. Rogers died, the music that was performed there were some of the arrangements that Dr. Page had done. And that eventually found its way into the Hal Leonard collection via another colleague of mine, Jerry Rubino, who was also one of his students when Dr. Page was teaching at Temple. So there are many familial connections there, collegial connections to Fred Rogers through this program. So we're going to actually do some of those songs that teach everything from self-esteem to tolerance to, all the things that we want our young kids to, all of our children to take with them.
Truly, it's going to be a wonderful family-centered concert.
It's meant to be family-friendly, but not just for the kids.
Right.
It's for everybody.
It's for everybody. Now, Heartland Chamber Chorale has a wonderful history here in Fort Wayne. For somebody who might actually not know who you are. There might be a couple. Tell me how it got started and the background.
I'd been working in Fort Wayne as the director of music at First Presbyterian Church since 1990, and in those 7 years as a director of music in a large church setting that frequently hired soloists, I recognized that there was an absence in the artistic fabric of Fort Wayne of professional voices. Every time I would go to a Philharmonic concert or to a major event, those artists were being imported to town, and then of course they were gone. So that was not a resource available here, and I really wanted to start a professional vocal ensemble. And I think over those first 7 or 8 years of living in Fort Wayne, I'd actually made the case for it in my own mind. So in 1997, we got started, and it was very small, but the whole vision was to be a professional vocal ensemble in Northeast Indiana.
So you have these singers who, there must be a audition process. How does one join?
The singers there were singers here who were doing work at a very high quality level, but not at the professional level.
Right.
So it's taken some time to train that group. And yes, there is an audition process, and it's evolved over time. Now it's very much like a job. These singers have always been paid. Not enough, but they've been paid, and they are paid professionally, and they are hired to do a job. So there's a whole process from application to annual reviews and continuing to check their vocal abilities and their work. So.
And how many singers do you have? Does it
currently,
fluctuate?
It does fluctuate. Our vision currently is 8 professionals, which would be full-time, 24 contract part-time. Right now we're dealing with simply a contract part-time at 16 at the moment, but we are working to get back up to 24. And then we have our festival chorus, which numbers 70 to 100.
Wow.
And that's community-wide, and those are also auditioned, but there's a process that's slightly different for that.
So you've got quite a series of concerts that goes on throughout the year. You've got some concerts and some private performances and other things. So tell me a little bit about what you've done recently and what you've got coming up.
Well, it all ties into that vision. A professional vocal ensemble is going to have quite a few things in their back pocket that they can do for private performances or special events or in the region, because our market is 225 miles of Fort Wayne, so we do travel.
Right.
The marketplace also demands a certain level of variety. So we have everything from opera to musical theater to a small group, large group. We've done Carmina Burana, we've done Messiah. We are introducing to start off our season next year with a premiere work called The Peacemakers, which is a huge orchestral choral work. So it just depends on what you're looking for. I know that we're going to be featured here on PBS doing our Celtic program in March.
I just heard about that. Tell me about what that is going to involve.
I mean, you know, it's what we've come to expect. Even watching or being a favored watcher of PBS, you know, when we do fund drives and we see Celtic women, it's always that's a stopper for me. It's like, stop doing everything I want to watch. But it's the same kind of thing, because you have professional vocalists who are providing a wide array of arrangements of music from Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and some even into Great Britain. And that whole tradition of singing good quality a cappella and some with instrumental accompaniment is long-standing. So we're doing stuff just like that right here in Fort Wayne at IPFW.
It's going to be aired live too. So
it will be on that Friday, and then we'll repeat it on Sunday.
You've got this Celtic celebration coming up. What other things are coming up?
Right after that, we go into our Broadway Your Way performance, which again brings back our festival chorus, and we've been voting all year long on what people's favorite choruses from their favorite Broadway musical, and the voting is still going on, so we don't really know exactly what's going to go into that program.
And how does somebody vote?
You can go online. You can hit our website at heartlandchorale.org. In fact, if you just Google and type in Heartland Fort Wayne, you'll get our website.
So you can vote.
That's right. And there you can actually take my job and be the music director and decide what choruses. But it depends on the voting.
Right. Now, how many...
Don't vote for Wicked, because we've already gotten a billion hits for Wicked. So something from Wicked is going to be on the program, I promise. And Les Miserables, by the way.
Okay, well that's good insider information.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how many concerts do you perform a year? And do you have a special season, or is it
There is.
year-round?
There's sort of it's sort of turned into a formula anymore. We have an opening that starts sometime in September, and we end our season first week in June. So there are roughly 10 concerts a year on our subscription series. Some are single performance, others are multiple. Our Christmas season this year ended up being 4 concerts that you could actually attend. But we have 10 concerts, in other words, 10 themed events that we do throughout the year. And then we have a series of maybe as many private performances or specially contracted concerts for us to do. Some are repeaters of what we've done, but others are brand new programs as well. And then we contract the singers to do special performances here and there, and then private concerts.
When you have a home at St. Francis.
Yes, we do.
And so many of your concerts are there, but you go to other
Actually,
venues.
not many.
Oh, really?
Not many, although now with the new Performing Arts Center that St. Francis has, the Old Scottish Rite, we're doing quite a bit more. But our mission is to be a regional ensemble. So we're artists in residence at St. Francis. We actually work with the students there on a regular basis. We do several concerts a year on the campus. But by nature of our vision and our mission, we're out into the community and performing downtown at Performing Arts Center or at Arts United Center.
When you said that you were traveling too outside the area, where have your travels taken you?
As far down as Indianapolis, down at the University of Indianapolis there, Ball State, and we're looking ahead as far as Elkhart and South Bend. That's that way, by the way.
Yeah.
Elkhart and South Bend, and Goshen, Wabash.
So really, you've
Really,
become a very
225 miles.
regional.
Definitely.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So tell me again about the family concert that's coming up, the dates and times, and how to get the tickets.
February 10th. It's early in the afternoon, 2:30, which is great for it's a Sunday afternoon, so you can have finished your church activities or other morning activities and had some lunch and come over. The program is about 70 minutes. There's no intermission. So very doable for young kids. The environment there on the North Campus auditorium at St. Francis is very amenable to children, tall, big, small, whatever. There's plenty of room to spread out and to get good interaction with Mr. Puppet and the singers. The concert's February 10th, 2:30 p.m. You can get tickets by calling the Heartland office at 260-436-8080. Or you can order tickets online, simple as can be, heartlandchorale.org.
Well, thank you so much for coming by
great being
today.
here.
And thank you for watching. I'm Melinda Haines with the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts. Next time on Arts Weekly, we'll hear about 2 local theater productions, Fort Wayne Civic Theater's The Drowsy Chaperone and First Presbyterian Theater's House of Blue Leaves. For up-to-the-minute arts updates, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And be sure to join us here Thursday evenings at 7:30 on PBS 39. Thank you for watching.
The preceding program on PBS 39 was made possible in part by
Excellence lives here in northeastern Indiana. It's reflected in more than 200 nationally recognized degrees. It drives our Division I sports. It's alive in our campus life. Excellence has a name, IPFW. Around our campus, around the country, around the world. Excellence lives here. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.